The symbol of the twins is really a perfect one to represent Gemini, as Gemini natives are said to possess something of a dual nature. Gemini is a fun sign that is easy to get along with. Gemini is naturally curious as well, preferring to live a life that is full of fun, wit, and vitality. A Gemini sees life as one big, endless learning experience to question and analyze to their heart's content. Gemini's best matches are Libra, Leo, Aquarius, and Aries. These highly compatible signs can hold Gemini's attention long enough to form and maintain a relationship, whilst also providing balance and motivation. Libra. This is a match that can definitely be said to be the ideal partnership. Libra and Gemini share a great desire to learn, and they both are able to converse intelligently with people from all backgrounds and every walk of life. Indeed, Libra is one of the few important signs in as many topics as Gemini is. This means that Gemini will not get bored with Libra. Gemini is also able to understand Libra's rather indirect communication style. These two signs understand each other on an intuitive level. Additionally, both of these signs enjoy flirting, and so they will not get annoyed with each other or jealous. They will enjoy entertaining and will have a very active social life. Leo. Gemini and Leo are also a great love match. These signs are similar enough to keep each other interested and entertained. They are different enough that they can balance each other. Leo's showmanship and joy of life will be able to hold Gemini's interest. In turn, Leo will provide stability for Gemini. Like a butterfly, Gemini can flit from person to person and from activity to activity. This sign is constantly on the move. Although Leo is energetic, this sign prefers to stay in one place and does not change easily. The biggest challenge for a relationship with Gemini natives is that they tend to wander off rather than work through problems. Leo's steadfastness and staying power will counteract Gemini's tendency and provide the balance necessary to keep the relationship stable. Aquarius. This is an astrology love match that is bound to be full of surprises, and that will suit both Gemini and Aquarius just fine, as both thrive on a diet of variety and change. While Aquarius does not have the flashy, larger-than-life nature of Leo, they can hold a Gemini's attention. Aquarius has a great deal of intellectual curiosity and is usually knowledgeable about a wide variety of subjects. While Aquarius may not be able to converse on as wide a range of topics as Gemini can, this sign tends to be knowledgeable about rather quirky topics. This will be a delight to Gemini. Aquarius and Gemini bring out the best in each other. Aquarius can provide an anchor to Gemini, which will help the Gemini make the best use of their talents and gifts. In turn, Gemini can help to lighten the sometimes heavy nature of Aquarius. Aries. Aries' flair for leadership and great things is complemented by Gemini's natural ingenuity, and the two will find even more common ground in their profound mutual love of knowledge and learning. It is hard to get bored in a relationship with an Aries native. This sign is constantly busy and doing something new. Aries thrives on situations most other signs would prefer to avoid. This makes Aries a lively companion for Gemini. Gemini is also able to manage the combative nature of Aries in a way few other signs can. Gemini is easy-going and rarely gets riled or upset. Natives of this sign are able to go with the flow and enjoy whatever comes their way. Indeed, when Aries tries to start an argument, Gemini will view it as an intellectual challenge. Gemini will happily be a verbal sparring partner for Aries, and fights will generally end with a wonderful time in the bedroom. Gemini worst matches. Gemini's worst matches are Scorpio, Taurus, and Pisces. These signs have very little in common with Gemini, and the difference is oftentimes too great to reconcile. Scorpio. Scorpio is considered the worst match for a Gemini. Gemini is famous for being the jack of all trades, the master of none. Scorpio pursues one activity with passion and intensity. Gemini sees Scorpio's single-mindedness as obsession, and Scorpio sees Gemini's love of variety as shallowness. They have no common basis for understanding each other, and they have a very difficult time communicating with each other. The differences between these signs are not easily reconciled. Scorpio will never be comfortable with the changeability of Gemini, and Gemini will never understand Scorpio's need to delve deeply into one thing. The only thing that these signs can do is to develop a sense of humor and learn to agree to disagree. An even more difficult problem between these signs is that Gemini has an absolute need for social engagement with a wide variety of people. This can invoke deep jealousy on the part of Scorpio, especially if it seems like Gemini is flirting with other people. For a Scorpio native, this will feel like an even deeper betrayal than if Gemini had cheated on them sexually, and Scorpio has a very hard time forgiving real or perceived betrayals of any kind. Taurus. Gemini and Taurus's problems are not quite as dramatic as those between Gemini and Scorpio, but they are still difficult to manage. Gemini and Taurus struggle with the day-to-day aspects of being together. Taurus wants to do the same thing, the same way, all of the time. Taurus hates change and becomes extremely uncomfortable when change is inevitable. Gemini needs variety and hates doing the same thing the same way more than once. While it is possible a compromise could be reached between these two signs, there is an added complication. This complication is that Gemini does not tend to stick around to work through difficulties. Instead, this sign tends to move on. Another major complication between these signs is that Gemini loves to flirt, and Taurus is notoriously jealous. This could lead to an intense conflict between these normally easygoing signs. Pisces. Gemini and Pisces relationships are not nearly as problematic as those between Gemini and either Scorpio or Taurus. There is also a great deal of sexual chemistry between these signs, which will increase the likelihood of a relationship forming. Yet, there are many pitfalls in a relationship between these two signs. One of the biggest pitfalls is that their reason and intellect ruled Gemini natives, and their intuition and emotions ruled Pisces natives. Gemini may have trouble giving Pisces the emotional support that this sign needs, and Pisces may have a hard time being satisfied with the level of intimacy that is possible with Gemini. A less obvious difficulty will come from the similarities between these signs. Neither of these signs is known to be very practical or consistent. Both of these signs do better when they are with someone who can provide balance in these areas, and they will not be able to provide balance for each other. Gemini men are attracted to people who can constantly stimulate and challenge them. They will often find this in fellow air signs Libra and Aquarius, as well as the charismatic fire signs Leo and Aries. Gemini women crave a partner who can keep up with them socially and aren't threatened by their fabulousness. This means that they are usually most compatible with Libra, Leo, Aquarius, and Aries, all of whom are charismatic and confident.